Welcome. Thanks for attending. Today I'll be talking about a small strategic project we've been doing at the Centre for Water in the Minerals Industry. And the aim of this work, well, firstly, we've been doing it in partnership actually with the Queensland Government, particularly the Queensland Future Climate Team and ICMM. And a large proportion, I guess, of the climate change mining conversation has really focused on energy decarbonisation, a major form of climate mitigation. But however, an unfortunate reality is that even if we rapidly decarbonise, climate change is not just going to end overnight, and the impacts will go on for decades and potentially longer. So there is a critical need, I guess, to make sure that the expanding mining sector and its stakeholders are prepared for the higher climate change risks that they will inevitably face to their operations and what that means for the regions. And that's stuff like, more intensified extreme rainfall, potentially longer heat waves and so forth. And so this project is sort of really about that, trying to provide tools to support climate resilient resource development. And we've had two main aims with this work. The first aim was to use some of the state-of-the-art climate projections that are being developed in Queensland to map risks that are relevant to mining operations and mining regions and understand what may happen. So, for instance, here is a map of the critical minerals resources in mining regions. Well, I invented the regions based on where the activity is going to happen and also the climate, which is the underlying layer. Because obviously the climate has a very strong influence on how those sites are managed. And then we made these maps of projections into the future. So here what you see is just a projection of how the potential of erosion will change into the future. The blue areas show it's going to where it might increase, the red where it might decrease. And so, for instance, some mining regions like Weipa, Tassie, Southwest, WA may actually have a reduction of erosion risk due to climate change, which is one of the few positive stories. And then the second aim of this work was to really try and raise awareness of the type and degree of climate risks that will be faced, and that's through like a web tool. So here's a little quick run through. The web tool is not yet live, but it is being finessed and finalized, but I'll give you an idea of what's happening. It first gives an overview about what is decarbonisation in Australia, where do we have mining activity, both in Queensland, but more generally, where might mines shut, where might mines grow. How is the mine cycle sensitive to climate change? So there's a little animation here where you can click on different factors and get an understanding of why that is an important risk to the industry and how it may change into the future. How our method is used to measure the potential impacts of climate change on regions. And then an overview of what the models are actually telling us about what will happen. So here, for instance, aridity, how that may change over Queensland, how drought frequency may change, the drying period duration, extreme rainfall, erosion potential. And then you can have a bit of a play and actually choose to look at more information depending on what index you like, what emission scenario you're interested in, what time frame you're interested in, and what mining area. So here's a little example for the Tablelands region. Okay, I'm near the end. And then there's some information on actual guidelines and guidance that's currently available for people to go to if they want to improve their own practice. Okay, and so research impact, we've developed a screening tool to inform both mining but investors and other stakeholders on where climate change impacts may occur and the type of impact, and then also just to enhance literacy in the sector and more broadly within society of where mining fits into the decarbonisation strategy, and our aims are to continue this work to try upscale to more indices and larger portions of the country. And here are some pretty maps of the work we produced. Thank you.